Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are working on a 2006 Chevy HHR 2.2 LT, and we were going to show you how to diagnose a mass flow air sensor on these cars. Sometimes these cars have what they call a idle problem. Sometimes you might think it might be the throttle body, but on this car yesterday, it decided it wanted to stall on me and give me a problem wanting to crank. And then I cranked it back up, and then all of a sudden at a stop sign or a red light, it acts like it wants to move, but the RPMs are just like bouncing up and down a little bit above 1 and below. But the problem started getting worse, and it was also causing the engine to delay when it was being turned off, and it gave me like one hard shift when it was trying to stall on me. But here's what the problem is with these cars, because like Chevy Cruises have the same exact issue. Your mass flow air sensor is basically right attached to this thing. And as you can tell, you can see it right there. There's two star bit screws holding in. Once you unplug that, you unscrew it and it comes out and replace it with another one. It's not recommended to clean those things because they don't help and they're electronic. So I did the trick when the car was running. If you unplug it and it doesn't stall, that means your mass flow air sensor is not responding and it's bad. Now, if you actually have the car off while it's plugged in, then unplug it before you start it, and if it starts right up with no problem, it's bad. Because the one way you'll know if these things are good is that if they're running and you unplug it and it stalls, that means it's a good mass flow, because that's what they're meant to do. And it can cause the engine to shudder at the same time, and don't worry, that's what it's supposed to do. So I tried it dozens of times yesterday with this vehicle. I tried the method where it was plugged in, turn it on, and unplug it while it's running. It never stalled. So I did it again where I plugged it back in, turned the car off, then unplug it, then start the car to see if it made a difference that way. It started up like it was working properly when it wasn't. These things can be expensive for certain model cars, especially this one, but you can get them for like 20, 40 bucks as long as you make sure they're matching. Now, if you do this method while the car is running, which is the easiest way to test them, it can cause your engine light to come on. It can throw off like 3 codes, maybe 5 the most. But if your car starts having like a rough idle, like it's bouncing, like a little above 1 or below, and it doesn't stop, and it gives you a problem with like delay, turn off the motor at times, or it randomly starts puttering after you get gas, don't worry, it's not bad gas. It's not your throttle body, because you'll know when your throttle body starts acting up, because the same symptoms of the mass flows with these are basically the same symptoms on a Chevy Cruze. I've owned a lot of Chevy vehicles. Well, not a lot. I've owned mainly Chevy vehicles, and I've found out that the mass flows are the big problem with these cars, because this HHR has 220k miles on it, and it's probably due for a change. You don't even have to take this off, really. I mean, you can just unbolt this 10 millimeter, unscrew this clamp off this hose, pull it out, and just lift this up a little bit, because you got these clamps that hold this thing on, which I had to recorrect that when I bought this because it wasn't on there right. It just keeps from vibration and rattling. Then you can just unscrew this and take it off. I mean, it's really simple. I hope this solves your problem with the 2006 Chevy HHR LT, and y'all have a great one.